Warning, you're not distancing yourself from people for no reason. The sun is about to enter Gemini, and if you don't pull back now, you'll pay an invisible price for it. Have you been feeling drained after even the simplest conversations? Is your body forcing you to avoid people, even when there's no logical reason? You're not becoming antisocial. You're not being weak. You're reacting to something real. The sun is about to move into Gemini, and no one's talking about the most urgent effect of this transit: the energetic crash for those who feel too much. It's like your mind is being pulled out of your body. You're overthinking, you're oversharing, and in the end, you walk away from conversations feeling empty. This phase isn't just about being social, like everyone says. For those who are energetically sensitive, it's a mental stimulus overload, and you feel it before the calendar flips, before the sky officially shifts. So what if this urge to withdraw isn't retreat but protection? If you've been feeling weird around people lately, comment 404. That number means external connection failure. Commented, you've just anchored your internal network. Everyone says Gemini season is light, fun, and all about communication. But what no one talks about is how this kind of energy, when it hits all at once, can crash those who are already overloaded. When the sun nears Gemini, ideas speed up, interactions get more intense, and the environment starts to feel loud, even in silence. You hear someone talk and suddenly feel exhausted out of nowhere. You join a group, a call, an event, and it's like your soul got yanked out in one pull. Too many words, too much mental vibration, too much presence without depth. And if you're emotionally sensitive, you'll absorb it all, even if you don't want to. Even in silly conversations, Gemini is air, and too much air can suffocate. So if you're avoiding people, canceling plans, ghosting out of nowhere, you're doing the right thing. Your body already knows. Your mind just needs to catch up. Have you noticed how a simple chat is wearing you out more than usual? How your body seems to shrink when you walk into a crowded space? How you start sweating, freezing up, or wanting to leave without knowing why? There's a name for that. Subtle overload, too much input, energy field too open. The sun, aligning with Gemini, activates the collective mental plane, which means everyone's thinking more, talking more, reacting more, and those who feel everything absorb even more. You interact with someone and carry their mood for the rest of the day. You try to focus, but your mind keeps looping through conversations, voice after voice. You're trying to stick to your routine, but it feels like the world has become mentally noisy, even when there's no sound. This isn't paranoia, it's not drama, it's heightened sensitivity, and your body is begging for some offline time. Stepping back now isn't running away, it's self-protection before the crash hits. You try to have a light conversation and walk away with a pounding head. You open up just a little, and it feels like something important slipped out. Your mind is stuck in a low-key alarm state, and the worst part? Almost no one notices. But you do. Even when you're silent, your head is full of echoes. You repeat phrases, rehearse answers, mentally correct yourself all the time. The sun in Gemini activates air, thoughts, and speech, and all of that is useful until it becomes too much. And now, it's becoming too much. You think more than you'd like. You remember things you didn't need to. You try to explain what you feel, but while you're explaining, you no longer feel it. That's a mental loop. And mental loops aren't solved by talking more. They're solved with pause, with distance. Your system needs fresh air, not more stirred up air. What if silence is the only place where your mind can truly reorganize itself. If this content resonates with what you've been feeling, hit like. It helps keep this kind of message alive out here. And if you're not following the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. This space is for deep feelers and different thinkers. And yes, your presence matters. There are things your body knows before you do. And one of them is this. When it's time to protect you, it acts on its own. Maybe you've noticed a wave of exhaustion out of nowhere. A weird drowsiness in the middle of the afternoon, a sudden urge to cancel plans, heavy legs just from thinking about going out. That's not laziness. It's not self-sabotage. It's your defense system. Your energy field is saying, that's enough for today. And the most frustrating part? Sometimes you do want to go. You want to be social. You want to reply to that message. But something inside you just says, no. Your body shuts down. Your energy drops. Your mood closes. And no matter how hard you try to push, your body won't cooperate. Accept it. This is protection. It's self-care in the form of biological boundaries. What if you stopped trying to function and started truly listening to yourself? You begin to pull away. You cancel plans. You don't reply. You disappear for a few hours or days, and then comes the guilt. Am I being cold? Am I letting people down? But here's the raw truth. You're not pulling away because you don't care. You're pulling away because you need to recover. Too much external presence starts to knock you off balance. You try to be there for everyone, and in the end, there's nothing left for you. You feel it, but can't put it into words. So you go quiet, not out of resentment, but for protection. The sun in Gemini activates the outer world, but your soul is asking for the opposite. Internal recovery. What if your silence is the most honest form of self-care you can offer right now? If you felt guilty for pulling away lately, comment, I needed to protect myself. That's your reminder, your permission, your anchor. Gemini is an air sign, and when the sun enters this territory, everything speeds up. Thoughts, conversations, impulses, background noise. Air circulates more, ideas spread faster, vibes get higher. But what if you were already at your limit? It feels like you're breathing too much, or not breathing properly. And this isn't a metaphor. It's physical. It's like you're energetically hyperventilating. So many ideas, so many expectations, so many voices, that your nervous system simply crashes. You try to breathe normally, but anxiety hits. You try to focus, but your mind slips away. You want to relax, but your body's always on high alert. This is air overload, and too much air destabilizes. You don't need more clarity right now. You need grounding, weight, stillness. What if what's draining you isn't what you're doing, but how much your mind has to process every second? You want to help, to be present, to reply, to keep up with conversations. But your mental space is already full, and no one notices, except you. It feels like your mind is crowded, even in silence, like there are people living in your head, other people's ideas, problems, insecurities that aren't even yours. This happens because, with the sun in Gemini, mental fields blend more easily. You don't just hear things, you absorb them. And if you don't close that space, it'll keep getting invaded. You need an invisible barrier now. Not physical, mental. You need to learn how to say no without explaining, to walk away without justifying, to take care of your own field before holding space for anyone else. That's not selfishness, it's balance. What if you're trying to carry more thoughts than your mind was built to handle? There comes a point where your body just shuts down. You stop replying. You stop insisting. You stop wanting to hear anyone. At first, You think you're isolating, but then you realize you're coming back to yourself. You start going quiet because you understand that no external explanation can reorganize you internally. With the sun activating the collective mental plane, words in excess have become poison. You need the opposite. The void, the listening, the guilt-free pause. Maybe you need an entire afternoon without interactions. A day that's just yours with the sound off. A weekend without replying to anyone. That's healing. That's rebuilding. What if going quiet now is the most powerful medicine you could give yourself? Have you noticed how little things are affecting you more lately? An innocent comment, a shift in tone, a notification breaking the silence, a simple request that completely drains you. It's because the sun is touching Gemini, and Gemini rules the mind, speech, and the nervous system, which means everything that goes through your mental filter now hits twice as hard. And if your mind is out of balance, everything else becomes unstable too. Your body reacts with tension. Your mood swings for no reason. Your sleep becomes an emotional roller coaster. This is the domino effect of overstimulation. This is not the time to push through. It's not the moment to test your limits. It's the moment to listen to what your mind is trying to say before it starts screaming through more serious symptoms. What if the world isn't pressuring you? What if it's just you trying to keep up with a pace your soul no longer wants to follow? If you've made it this far, it's because something in you is already vibrating differently. If you want to keep walking this path with us, hit subscribe. This space is for those who read the signs before they become screams. The distance you're feeling right now isn't an end, it's preparation. You feel less productive, less social, less like you, maybe, but that less is clearing space. Because what comes after the sun enters Gemini isn't more interaction, it's filtering, it's choosing, it's prioritizing. You no longer need to split yourself to please others or give until you're empty. You need time to digest, to integrate everything you've taken in, to turn overload into direction. It's in the silence that the right ideas appear. It's in the pause that your mind decides what's worth keeping. This isolation right now is where the seed is sprouting. And when the time is right, you'll speak again. You'll open up again, but with clarity, with strength, with truth. What if your retreat is the exact moment? Everything finally started to align. You're not weak for stepping back. You're wise. You're not cold for going quiet. You're just too sensitive to keep pretending everything's fine when your mind has already begged for air. The sun entering Gemini can be vibrant, but only if you protect your energy field first. Only if you learn to say, not right now, to what drains you, and yes, to what brings you back into alignment. If this cycle helped you realize that distance was the only way to stay whole, comment, silence protects me. That's your code, your acknowledgement, your realignment. Because those who retreat with awareness come back with power.